Finishing off our first round preview and predictions, we have the New York Islanders against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I was also going to do a video on the draft lottery last night giving you guys my thoughts and reactions, but I was a little bit salty over it because Detroit dropped 2 spots and I just wasn't happy with the results, and a lot of other people made videos on it. You guys already knew the results and the order, so I just thought I wouldn't bother. But this video, we're going to continue on this series, and then later on today, you guys are going to get my full bracket predictions for the entire playoffs. So without further ado, let's get right into this preview. Now taking a look at how each team did in the regular season, and before the season started, if you were to tell me the Islanders were going to head into the playoffs with home ice advantage against the Pittsburgh Penguins, I would have said you're crazy. I actually did tweet out before the year though that I thought the Islanders were going to be better without John Tavares, but I didn't think they were going to be this good. Second in the Metro, that is very, very impressive, and I think a lot of that is due to Barry Trotz. That was really an amazing pickup for them, and Robin Lehner as well. But looking at the Pittsburgh Penguins, they finished the year with a record of 44, 26, and 12, 100 points, third in the Metro Division, a solid year for the Pittsburgh Penguins. They were led in goals by Jake Guentzel with 40 goals, proving to everyone that he can play as well in the regular season as he has in the playoffs over the past couple of seasons. They were led in assists by Sidney Crosby with 65, and also points with Sidney Crosby, 100 points, another amazing year for Sidney Crosby. He really is phenomenal, one of the best players, if not the best player of our generation. Now looking at the New York Islanders, 48, 27, and 7, 103 points, so there isn't too much of a point spread between these two teams. Led in goals by Anders Lee with 28 goals, so a bit of a step back from his 40-goal season last year, but nonetheless still a solid year for the New York Islanders captain. Assists, Matt Barzal with 44, and Matt Barzal led the way with 62 points. Another downgrade in points from last year, but still I think Barzal had a fantastic year, and I think he just kind of put the expectations on himself a little bit too much after the phenomenal year that he did have last season. But he's the main guy on this team. He's their future franchise guy moving forward, and I definitely think the franchise is in good hands with Matt Barzal, and there is a lot of young players that have showed some promise this year. You look at Michael Dal-Cole, who was kind of seen as a bust before this season, but he definitely has, taken that label away, and he's showing that he really can be a fantastic NHL player. But these two teams really do match up well, and I'm probably most excited about this series along with maybe the Carolina and the Toronto-Boston series. I'm very, very excited for those ones as well, but I think this series could go the distance, and it definitely should be a very, very good matchup. Now taking a look at how each team fared in terms of team statistics in the regular season, and they're pretty much the opposite for one another. Pittsburgh relied more on the offense to get the job done, while New York kind of relied on the defense and goaltending to win them games this season. Pittsburgh scored 3.3 goals per game, which was 6th in the NHL. That's a very good total, and they only allowed 2.9 against per game, which was still in the top half of the league, but kind of towards the middle. They had a power play percentage of 24.6, 5th in the NHL. Obviously, with all the big name players and superstars that they have, they're going to have a pretty good power play, but they only have a penalty kill percentage of 79.7, which is 19th in the league. But going up against the Islanders, who don't really have a strong power play by any means, I don't really think that penalty kill is going to hurt the Penguins whatsoever in this series. The New York Islanders scored 2.72 goals per game, 22nd in the league, but as you can see, the goals allowed just 2.33 against per game, first in the league. That was their bread and butter. That is what made them one of the top teams in the league in the regular season. And like I touched on in their power play, I believe a couple days ago, I think, before the playoffs started, I saw Barry Trotz on SportsCenter saying he was mad at the fans for booing them on their own power play. So they certainly have struggled on the power play this year, just 14.5%, 29th in the league. But that going up against Pittsburgh, bad penalty kill, you never know what could happen. And the Islanders don't really have the greatest penalty kill either at just 79.9, 0.2 better than the Penguins at 17th in the league. And that penalty kill going up against the Penguins, really, really good power play, definitely could be costly for the New York Islanders. But I think these teams still match up well. I think it's going to be a fun series, but obviously just looking over everything, I'm still leaning towards Pittsburgh. They have the experience, they've won Stanley Cups together before, and overall I still think they are the better team. So now getting into my final prediction, I have the Pittsburgh Penguins winning this series in 7 games. So I think it's going to go the distance. I think it's going to be very, very competitive, but honestly I hope I'm wrong on this. I think that's been a theme of these predictions and all the series previews so far, is that I hope I'm wrong in terms of picking the team that is more so the favorite. I just like underdogs, and even though the Islanders are coming in as a higher seed, I think a lot of people still see them as the underdog in this series, going up against the Pittsburgh Penguins, one of the best players in the NHL. On their team with Sidney Crosby, and then obviously you have Evgeny Malkin, Phil Kessel, Jake Gensel, now you could call him a star caliber player. Chris Letang's having a Norris caliber year, and we all know what Matt Murray is capable of in the postseason, and they've won cups together before, like I said, so I honestly just think they're going to be a little bit too much for kind of the inexperienced, young, and pesky New York Islanders to handle, but you never know. This could be a team that could go on that Cinderella run and really be that team in this playoffs that could just surprise everyone, but in the end, I'm going to have to go with my gut and say the Pittsburgh Penguins are going to take this in 7 games. So that is going to do it for the final series preview and predictions for the first round of the NHL playoffs that get underway tonight. I'm very, very excited. I hope you guys are too. You can follow me on Twitter, to tweet along with me and talk to me about the games that are going on. But if you guys liked all these, they didn't get as much views as every other video does, but I still really enjoyed doing them, and the people that did watch them seem to like them a lot. So if you guys want to see them throughout the playoffs and in the second round and third round and so on, make sure to let me know down in the comment section, and look out for the full bracket playoff predictions later on today. And with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe to the channel for daily NHL content, and I will see you guys all in the next video.